In today's video, I want to show you how we moved this Meta account that we've now been working with for a bit, and they had 2.6 ROAS on Meta. We just introduced TikTok as a new ad channel to this brand for this Q4, and they're so far getting 4.48 ROAS. So I want to show you exactly our campaign structure and strategy for making that move from Meta to TikTok. If you're new to the channel, you don't yet know who I am. My name is Justin. I'm the founder at paidadvertising.com, an e-commerce marketing agency specializing in elevating thriving brands by simplifying e-commerce growth. So let's get straight into it. I want to first start you off with Meta. So that client now we've been working with for right around the 3-month mark. We're spending about $15,000 to $20,000 a month on ads, generating about, as you can see, 2.63 ROAS. ROAS fluctuates between, I'd say, 2.5 to like 3.1 for that client on a given monthly basis. Obviously, this is October. Usually it's a little bit lower right before Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but nonetheless, doing still pretty good for that client. Our KPI targets 2.5 and above. We're 2.63, and that's why we're like slowly but surely scaling up this account. Now, they were doing pretty good, and we wanted to export TikTok. Why? One, organically, they're doing great. They never really ran any TikTok ads, but they've always done great organically. They have a few 100,000 followers on TikTok, and they blew up roughly 3 years ago on TikTok. So their big TikTok phase for them was 3 years ago. Now they're posting, like they weren't really posting for the last year and a half. They started posting daily. They started posting daily again over the last month and a half. And we just thought, hey, what we noticed, like from our learnings over the last 3 months on Facebook, one, we know UGC works the best for that brand. Two, we've also really isolated a specific set of desires and ad types that work great so far repeatedly on Facebook. So we're like, let's just try the same content on TikTok. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what we did. So far for the month, we are at 4.48 if I look at triple attribution. If I switch to total impact, as of right here, we're at 4.97 for this time period with only $1,200 spent. Very low spend. We just started. Again, we literally just started on ads. We were spending like $50 a day, and then it creeped it up to 80, now creeped it up to $100, and we're slowly making our way to try and match Facebook's success. But so far it's working really good. Why am I showing you triple wall for TikTok, not for Facebook? Just so you know, that client actually has 2 separate stores. And Facebook in itself, it's becoming very hard to track on triple wall with the 2 split stores because we're actually advertising on 2 different Shopify stores. Whereas when it comes to TikTok, we're currently only advertising on 1 of the 2 stores, so 1 of the 2 markets, which therefore makes it a lot easier for me to report back on triple wall. But total impact would be 4.97. If I look at triple attribution, we are at 4.48 as of right here for that specific campaign. Now, how did I structure that campaign? Why did we go on TikTok? Well, look, I've been speaking for a bit. This is only the second video I've made about this campaign structure, and just showing you it works as great as it does on Meta. I've talked a lot about the broad and DCT based campaign for Facebook, saying you need to go broad with your ad targeting. You need to make dynamic creative tests, or what's called an automatic creative optimization on TikTok, and you really let the ad do the targeting. This is what we've done for that client. Same thing. Look, there's one campaign that is active. Currently, as I mentioned earlier, we started it up at like $50 a day. Now we're spending $160 a day. If I go into ad groups, there's basically DCTs, the same way we'd have it on Facebook. We optimize the budget at the campaign level so that we let the campaign, and therefore TikTok, decide where to split the budget. If I click on any of these DCTs as of right here, you can see my targeting. So if I go down, basically I'm only targeting the US. I'm targeting females from all ages, from all languages, all spending power. There's literally like not even a device restriction, nothing. The only thing we have is gender, location. That's it. And then if you look at the cost, well, look at it right here. You have actually the cost. If I go by the sending as of right here, you can see 2 of our DCTs are definitely performing the best. One of our main ad set, which is like where the winning ads are into right now, it's actually spending less, which is a very good indicator that these 2 ads are super strong, and therefore that we'll most likely be able to move them into the main ad set very, very soon. You can see also like some other DCTs, whether or not they've received some spend. Only one of them really didn't do good so far, so we just killed it. But all of them were still kind of in that testing phase once again with TikTok, so it's still quite early for us to tell whether or not we want to keep them up or not. Now, in full transparency, looking at those DCTs right now, they're not technically dynamic creative tests. We've called them that because that was the same name as we had those creatives labeled on Facebook. But the reason why they're not exactly DCTs is because we're actually just having 3 separate ads right now ran on TikTok. Like, it's not like those are actually an automated creative optimization or smart creative, essentially, is like TikTok calls it now. So those are standalone ads essentially that we have right now. So if you view it from a total structure, it's campaign, it's 1 ad set per batch of creatives. I still call it a DCT in the sense that those are all related to the same angle. They're very similar. In fact, you can see it from the snippet right there. It's basically the same ad. It's just the hook at the start is different on all 3. And they have like slightly different variations of copy. In fact, all of those, looking at this, there's 2 copies, 2 headlines. They both have 2 copies. They both have 2 headlines, the same one. Really, the only difference is the hook. So we're making these videos compete based on the hook, essentially. And that's why we're bundling them up inside of an ad group, because that ad group essentially is the angle overall for the ads. And that's why we have basically like the optimization at the campaign level, so that it optimizes basically based on the overall angle. And from there, we can then see which one of these individual ads is a winner, where here, it's a clear winner. You know, this one is getting all the spend and it's getting pretty much all the results, which is a clear winner with that top ad. Whereas as an example, if I looked at that other DCT, it's less of a clear winner. There's 2 ads that are getting very, very decent spend, and that indicates that we probably have to look a little deeper and see, as an example, which one of the copies versus the headlines perform best and optimize from there. Why am I showing you all of this? Well, the reason I am is because the same campaign structure I've been preaching about for Meta is now working A1 on TikTok, which in other words means it's become easier than ever to advertise on TikTok. What you're doing on Facebook can translate 1-to-1 pretty much on what you do on TikTok, which means you don't have to produce extra content. You don't have to rework any of your strategy. You do the same thing. You spend twice on 2 platforms, which will yield to somewhat 2 different audiences. You might have a slight overlap between those audiences, but you will definitely reach different audiences by going on 2 different platforms, which means you not only get a better bang for your buck in a sense that you don't have to reproduce content. So your content goes an extra mile. You get better results for the same content because it gets more sales overall. And you're omnipresent, so people see you on more platforms. So your brand is more top of mind when it comes to them making a buying decision. And if you want a better mental picture of what this ad account structure looks like, it's exactly like that. It's 1 campaign, 1 main ad set where all the winners are moved into. DCTs essentially that are being tested simultaneously, and then as soon as we got like a winning combinations from one of these DCTs, we move it up to the main ad set. And now if you've watched all of the way this far and you are looking for a TikTok paid ads partner, we currently have an offer going on for this Q4 valid until the end of 2023, which basically there's 2 offers that you can combine it with us. The one is the one that everybody would get, which essentially you get, if you spend basically 1.8K, you get 1.8K, which in other words, TikTok matches 1-to-1 the spend that you have. And by opening an ad account with our team, you get a free $200 ad credit that goes back to you. So essentially you get matched ad spend by TikTok and a $200 ad credit from our team to you. So again, if that's an offer you want to take up and work with us for your TikTok ads, click the link down below and book in a call to speak with our team today about our done for you ad services. Would it be for TikTok, Meta, or Google? And with that being said, I'll be seeing you guys on the next video. Peace.